Alright guys, welcome back to another game of Age of Empires 2 brought to you by Manbeast. Today I just thought I'd bring a game I noticed on the ladder between the world number 1, Hera. At the moment we're all familiar with Hera, playing in the red as the Japanese, and Kasva, who is a kind of older player but he's still around and he's still dominating on the ladder. He's playing in the blue today as the Turks. One time, fun fact here, I actually played against Kasva in Empire Wars and I got absolutely smacked. It wasn't close. It wasn't fun. It wasn't fun for me. I doubt it was fun for Kasva. I'm sure that Kasva absolutely wrecked me, and whilst he was doing that, he probably had a look of pity on his face, right? Anyway, I thought this would be quite an interesting game to cast because, often we don't get the often we focus on S tier civs clashing on Arabia at least, and it's kind of fun to look at the kind of civs that are decent on Arabia but maybe not top tier, such as the Turks and the Japanese. Well, now the Turks are kind of a little bit different to how they were back in the day before some of the more recent balance updates. They've got the extra armor on their scouts, which makes them very solid scout civ, and then obviously, they still have their amazing gunpowder, and they kind of shine in the late stage of the game, but they also have some top-tier cav archers these days. Then we also have, in the Japanese, one of the probably most powerful early openings in Feudal Age with man-at-arms. They also get the eco bonus with their kind of cheaper mills and lumber camps and whatnot. However, they also get very solid cavalry archers, but they with the +2 attack against other archery units. So we'll see whether Kasva ends up going for cav archers against the Japanese. However, what I want to kind of emphasize is that the Japanese kind of peter off towards the late stage of the game, but they shine at the start, and like the Turks, kind of the opposite here. Both players have chickens. Kasva opting to mill his. Doesn't look like Hera is going for that, which I'm somewhat surprised with, given that one of the Japanese bonuses is the cheaper mill. But we'll see what he's going for here. He doesn't look like he's going for the man-at-arms. Both players did push a neutral deer or two to their TC, which is disgusting that players are doing that these days, to be honest. Okay, does look like we are getting a couple of man-at-arms. Okay, there's a little bit later from Hera. A little bit later from Hera with his militia here. We'll slow things down a little bit. He is up first. He's using his very fast man-at-arms build order, which I think you can see in Hera's, if you join Hera or subscribe to Hera, you can see that build order. It's very fast, 18 pop into man-at-arms. Then he's building a forward range. I love this, really aggressive from Hera. His man-at-arms are already upgraded. He's on the prowl. It looks like Kasva is going straight for the range. This will counter the man-at-arms for the time being, but with Hera's range being so close behind, skirms will soon come out, and this is putting a lot of pressure on our Turks player here. These man-at-arms will absolutely eat through the palisade as well. It looks like Kasva has finished off his chickens, so there's no easy pickings here, and I think Kasva's doing a really good job of just small walling and keeping... These men-at-arms are a massive investment. He's keeping them from doing any major damage at the moment, and he's doing a good job of just keeping a cool head and focusing on defending. Hera has queued up his own skirmisher coming out now. He is taking the chickens, and Kasva has scouted that. And now, looks like Kasva's not quite going to lose that spearman, but Kasva's in a pretty awkward spot right now because the skirmishers aren't going to do much damage against the men-at-arms. Hera has skirmishers of his own. It looks like Kasva is just going to have to try and build up a bit of a skirmisher mass, which you never really want to do as Turks anyway. You don't even get the elite skirmisher upgrade. This is quite good damage on the scout there from Kasva on Hera. Really good micro from Kasva, actually. Very solid. And Kasva is actually starting to outmaneuver Hera's army, which is kind of rare. That I don't think you often see Hera get outmaneuvered like that. Looks like that was a cheeky pause there. And Kasva is starting to plant a load of farms. He looks like he was floating a bit of wood, but he's got horse collar, so he's in a very happy space right now. He might lose a villager over there. Hera's got a decent farm count as well, and he's already on gold, so he does have an eye on Castle Age as well himself. And this is where we just turn into skirm wars right now. Worth noting that Hera does have more idle TC time. And that Hera has killed way more units, a couple more units than Kasva here. So that's kind of interesting. Even though I was kind of praising Kasva for his strong army control there, he is losing a couple of units here and there. Fletching's going to come in now, which will make the skirm so much more effective for Hera. And oh my goodness, I thought we might have lost the Vil there, but not quite. Hera not quite going in for the kill. I wouldn't mind seeing +1 armor come in. I don't know, he's lost a lot of health on the man-at-arms, but having an extra bit of armor there when your opponent's allowed you going skirms isn't going to be a bad thing. That being said, Kasva doesn't have the range yet, so I guess the armor wouldn't make much of a difference. +1 armor coming in. Love to see it. And he's going for a couple more man-at-arms as well. I love this so much from Hera. Heavy feudal pressure coming in now. And I think Kasva's going to be losing a Vil or two here. Oh, not quite. That is very, very lucky from Kasva. I'm really surprised he didn't lose a single villager there. Where is Kasva's blacksmith? Oh, there it is. So he's getting the Bluttering upgrade himself. I think that depending on what I think Kasva probably, it might be a good idea to get the +1 defense for the skirmishers and just keep making skirms for the time being. He knows his opponent's not going to be up anytime soon. That being said, Hera has got 19 farmers, so if he chooses to stop production, he should be up pretty quickly. And we're losing, oh my goodness, the skirms are going down, this house is going to go down. And this is really intense feudal pressure from Hera here. Of course, he hasn't quite invested the same amount as, he's invested a lot more in terms of army, but he hasn't invested the same amount in terms of not having horse collar and whatnot. And it looks like, oh my goodness, Hera is absolutely dominating over here. A lot of the men-at-arms are quite weak, but they do have the +1 defense. They are Japanese men-at-arms. I wouldn't be surprised if this man-at-arms could take out both of these villagers. It looks like it's going to go down. So Kasva has lost 3 villagers there. However, because of... I was about to say because of the idle TC, Hera might be in the same position, but no, he's got wheelbarrows, so actually Hera's economy is much better. And whilst this has all been going on, I've completely missed this epic failure as a caster. This tower from Hera, great tower, taking out Kasva's gold, and this is really putting Kasva in a tricky situation. This is the power of the Japanese. The initial man-at-arms are so strong. Literally one of the most powerful units you can get in feudal age, and this is really unfortunate now for Kasva, who is trying his best not to get absolutely steamrolled by the Japanese here. Looks like this villager is going to go down. And that's another Vil down for Kasva. Hera should be up after this villager. Gonna see him go up. There you are. I wonder what we're going to see from him. Kasva's not too far behind himself, but he doesn't have the gold income up anymore, and his other golds are both forward, so this is really massive for Kasva. Obviously, Turks are very gold reliant anyway. He has managed to destroy that tower now, so he has freed up this gold. He should be up relatively soon, but Hera's done a lot of damage here, killing 3 villagers. Oh, 4 villagers with a 3 villager lead. He's also got wheelbarrow. He is loving life right now. Kasva looks like he's going to go across the map for a cheeky raid himself, as Hera desperately tries to wall up. Would he have managed to see that? He might have seen the archers cross over by here. I assume he did, because he is pulling back the skirms. Okay, what are we seeing from Hera? We're seeing more man-at-arms, more skirms, and forging. So are we seeing a bit of a longswords play here? I love to see it. Second barracks coming up. However, Kasva is up himself. He has got some scouts, so he is forcing his opponent to play defensively for the time being. And remember, the scouts also get the +1 pierce armor on them as the Turks, so that's really kind of nice for our Turks player. What are we seeing from Hera as he enters into castle? I'm really impressed with how Hera played this as well, because he was never really punished for having his range forward. Often that can be a bad thing, because you don't have. It's hard for you to make defensive skirms if your opponent has a load of archers in your base when your range is forward. But he never let himself be put in a position where he was really punished for that. Elite skirm coming in, longsword coming in. Bodkin and squires. This is an army to be reckoned with. And in early Castle Age, Japanese longswords shouldn't be underestimated. They're very powerful. However, Kasva is going on the offensive himself. He's getting bloodlines. He's getting the first armor upgrade. Stonewall forced over here. Look at how quickly this house goes down. That's insane. Oh my goodness. It looks like Kasva has his work cut out for him. However, he is looking to raid with the soon-to-be light cavalry himself, and Hera's base is still open, so this could be really bad for Hera here. Is he going to quick wall, or is he focused? Is he focusing up here? Okay, here's the quick wall. Not quite. He didn't quite get it. And okay, that's gonna bring Kasva back into this game. He's gonna kill what, like 4 vills there? Love to see it. Kasva having to garrison and idle all of these farms, which is never ideal, particularly when you're going for double knights, double stable knights, which should clear up this army eventually. What I would... Oh no! This is classic Hera, man. Classic Hera. Always just walls in your army. You think you got one over on Hera, and then he just walls you up. I'm kind of hesitant to engage with the knights here, because the Japanese longswords would actually clear this up, I would think. Okay, yeah, it looks like they've kind of fended off the knights for now, but the Turk knights did actually do a decent amount of damage there. These light cavalry are just doomed to be trapped and then kind of killed off by these longswords. That's really nice by Hera. However, Kasva has gotten his second TC down, and remember, Hera used his tower over here, so he doesn't have the stone for a second TC himself. This is... looks like Hera is going for more aggression with more longswords, more skirms. Hera looks like he's going to stay in on 1TC a little bit more now. He's putting down a marker, which is often a sign of like a 1TC all-in. And it looks like he's going to be kind of playing very aggressive against the Turks. I think that's the right play. You know, as the Japanese, you don't want to take this into late game. To be honest, when I saw this matchup, I assumed there were going to be Cav Archers involved, but this is not a Cav Archer game at all. And now this looks like a level of like a tower defense. defense game or something, where hordes of longswords are coming into Kasva's tower base, and we're just seeing Kasva weather the storm. Forward Siege Workshop, love to see it. The longswords are able to fend off these knights relatively easily. Just gonna have a drink. And the monks, oh, the monk edition there by Kasva is absolutely, I mean, I was about to say absolutely amazing, but nothing got converted and one of the monks died. Monks are such a good defensive unit, generally, so really good play by Kasva. I love garrisoning the tower with archers as well instead of villagers. It just adds the that much extra depth to his defenses. Kasva's doing a good job of keeping a cool head right now. He's got 2 town centers. I don't know whether Kasva knows that his opponent is on the 1 TC. But he's got 14 villagers on stone. Janissaries are a fantastic unit against longswords, so if he can just get that castle up, he should be in a decent position. He just needs to play defensive. I don't think he needs to take this fight, because I feel like as well, the longswords, like Japanese longswords, punch above their weight so much. I just don't feel like this is a great match. I suppose he can do this hit and run thing and heal up his knights. His opponent doesn't have any monks there yet, so I suppose you could argue that's worth it. But I am a little bit skeptical. Mangonel and a ram. Once that ram is fully upgraded, fully garrisoned with Japanese longswords, that's going to absolutely tear through buildings. Just having a swig of my water, and what are we seeing now? Kasva does have a Mangonel, so he should be able to resist the ram push from Hera. And at this point in the game, maybe I'm speaking too soon, whilst Hera has done an excellent job of keeping the pressure up, his push is kind of stalled a little bit. I don't think that this is beyond Kasva to deal with now, but here comes a massive counter push from Kasva here. I'm not sure how this is going to go. Some good shots from the Mangonel there. Ram's down, Mangonel's down for Hera, and most of these longswords have been cleared up. That Mangonel and Scorpion really coming in to clutch there. Oh my! Oh, that was a great shot from that Mangonel, and wow. That was, I didn't expect that fight to go so well for Kasva there. As Kasva clears this up, he gets his forward castle. I feel like you knowing that your opponent has nothing, like that must have been his entire army, right? Just make the castle like a little bit closer to the siege workshop. Like, I understand being nervous about mangonels and things, but like, come on, man. I think Kasva's done a good job there. It would be great to have that castle further forward to secure this gold, but not the end of the world. So now Kasva is hoping to clear up some of this forward, probably expand it across the map. Hera is going into pikes, a unit that the Turks sorely lack, but it looks like Hera is in a good position. Kasva is in a good position. I think as well, once the... Are we going to snipe that monk? Oh, I'd love to see it. Really nicely done by Kasva there. And once the Janissaries start coming out... I was going to say once the Janissaries start coming out, this is going to be really difficult for Hera, but Hera just immediately sniped that one Janissary on the field, which kind of felt like a bit of a counterpoint to what I was saying. But anyway, yes, the Janissaries will be super useful here. I mean, Hera could use... Yeah, I was about to say, snipe that monk, man. There you go. Hera getting the most value for his army. He's kind of stuck now. He has gone for a second TC himself. However, Kasva has been on 2 TCs for a very long time. He's got a second castle up. I love this castle. I think it's fantastic. If it goes up... Oh my goodness. Is that actually going to go up? Oh boy. Kasva being a little bit optimistic, shall we say, with that castle. Over here, he's forced to put it in the back of his base, which is really not ideal at all. Kasva is transitioning into cavalry archers, which is really nice, and this castle should definitely go up now. Once Kasva has the second castle up, he can kind of focus on just getting up to him. Hera is adding this third TC. But at this point, Hera looks like he was hoping to finish this in Castle Age, and he's just not been able to. Note as well that Kasva is keeping an eye on the relics. He does want the gold for the late game. However, he's just not been able to actually secure any relics yet. Hera going for the TC. Fourth TC for Hera. I love to see it. So Hera is going to play catch up a bit. That will likely delay his Imperial time by quite a bit. I didn't notice Kasva has gone for the third TC as well. Oh my goodness. I mean, that is not good. That was terrible for Kasva, losing some precious cavalry archer numbers. Obviously, numbers are king when it comes to cavalry archers. You want to keep that mass. Hera's doing a good job of just being a nuisance with his army, but Kasva is on the prowl with his army, hoping to take out and snipe some of Hera's villagers. That being said, I suspect part of the reason Hera added the 4th CC isn't necessarily to mega boom, but it's more to provide extra coverage and cover for his own economy. So that kind of counters the cavalry archers' play somewhat. That being said, this hill is kind of begging for a castle. It would be really nice if Kasva was able to get a castle like right here. Take out that gold, kind of give him a little bit of access to stage attacks on this gold as well. It looks like Hera's doing a good job of just keeping these cavalry archers from actually doing any major damage. And ballistics is in, so these cavalry archers will take a couple of javelins to the face. Kasva losing more cav archers to lone pikemen, which is never a good sign. But even though Kasva hasn't been able to build up the cavalry archer mass that you really want to get to, he is in a decent position to go up to imp soon. He's getting ballistics, his farming economy is looking very solid. And he's not producing from 4 TCs, what Hera is. Hera's villager count is kind of catching up. Oh my goodness, we're getting some massive shots here. I didn't appreciate this was going to be a massive fight. Oh, and cav archers are just about able to get out of this. Hera going under the castle and just directly kind of ignoring the castle. I'm not sure if that's a great play by Hera, to be honest. Once those pikes go down, these skirms are very vulnerable indeed, and that is what Kasva needed. Clearing up Hera's almighty army for a castle. Hera, is this a good idea, Hera? I don't think this is a good idea, Hera. Oh my god. Oh no. I mean, maybe this is going to work. Are we? I literally cannot process this. The cav archers are being smoked down by Hera. Pikemen coming in to take out the knights. It looks like Hera's going to do what he does best, which is kind of make some sort of miracle happen as he abuses the market to get up to Imperial faster than Kasva. Suddenly, I was kind of croning about Kasva playing this really well, but suddenly Hera has put Kasva, I wouldn't on the back foot, so to speak. And even though Kasva's not necessarily in a bad position right now, once Hera gets up to Imperial, this is really not good. And it's not like Kasva is close himself. It looks like Kasva's planning on staying in Castle Age a little bit longer. He does have ballistics, but no real not that many villages have gone down for Hera as of yet, so Kasva needs to make some damage happen now. That being said, Hera doesn't really have army, so like yes, this castle will go down, but unless he has like a decent mass of pikes to guard the trebuchet, I wouldn't be surprised if Kasva just gets a couple of light cavalry to snipe any potential trebs. This isn't the end of the world for Kasva. He is on 57 farms, and his eco is looking absolutely gorgeous. His eco is also quite well defended with the amount of castles he's got, as he also continues to give Hera a bit of a runaround around the back of his base. This means that Hera's army will be completely out of position for any kind of counter-offensive. As Hera tries to sneak a castle, this was quite cheeky of Hera, I think, and these villages are all going to die. That castle is definitely not going up. As Hera tries to make the best of a bad situation and manages to complete an outpost. I love that. Kasva continuing to raid around this area. These cav archers are kind of dying to town centre fire, so it's not ideal. But a couple more villages are going to go down. As Hera coming in with, is this a Yasama tower rush kind of play? I didn't see him research Yasama. Let me. No, he hadn't got Yasama yet. But he is getting guard tower. He's getting bracer. Hera is trying to make something happen. I feel like this is quite sloppy play by Hera, though. He hasn't gone for his trap yet. Like, you know, get at least one trap out. Try to take down this castle. Kasva is now up to Imperial himself. He's getting Thumbering. He's getting to that kind of late game comp that Turks really love to be rocking, which is, you know, the free Hussar with the extra armor, cavalry archers. Hera is kind of playing a bit of trash warfare here, which isn't a bad thing in the long run. He does have secure kind of golds, but I don't love it. I don't love seeing. I don't feel like this is the best way to take the advantage of your earlier Imperial time, particularly against Turks when you're really kind of playing on the clock, because of how powerful Turks are in late game. Siege Workshop already up for Kasva, so we are going to see bombard cannons immediately once he gets up to Imperial. Love to see it. One trebuchet out for Kasva, and this is exactly what I was kind of saying. This trebuchet will go down as quickly as it came out, with these Hussar coming straight in. And I suspect, are these villages enough to keep it up? Oh my god. That is insane. I did not expect that to stay up. Well played by Hera to keep that still alive. Kasva is managing to keep his castles alive for the time being. He has run out of stone. The unique Turk tax has come in, so the cavalry archers are about to gain extra, 40 HP? Something like that. It's insane, and they're going to be some chonky boys. Kasva does lose a castle on the front. Bracer has now come in, free chemistry as well. However, Halberdier has come in for Hera, and, you know, Japanese halbs are no joke. They're such a powerful unit. Hera going for some more towers to secure the hill. I quite like Hera's use of towers here. I think it's a good shout, and I can kind of see, using trash and then towers as your kind of main damage output, accompanied with trebs. Like, I think it works as area denial, but I'm not sure. This is a deadly kind of push going on here from Hera, though. I love this. He's securing the ground with his guard towers. These villages are all going to die. These villages may well die as well. And Hera is pushing forward with 4 trebs on this side. That being said, 2 bombard cannons on this side. Kasva may well be able to push Hera back. You can kind of sense that Hera is really trying to push Kasva off gold at this point. Really enjoy this. And Hera is just having a whale of a time. Kasva hasn't quite realised that all of these villages are in jeopardy. However, cavalry archers are on the prowl. Yasama coming in. Oh, I love to see it. This is so fun. I love seeing all the unique attacks coming in. We are seeing the bombard cannons. Are they going to take out that castle? That trap goes down. And this castle has gone down over here from Hera. Oh my... Kasva has lost that castle to Hera, rather. Oh my goodness, there's so much going on in this game. They're all over the map. Hera's being pushed back on this side, but it looks like he's losing a lot of ground here. And this is the beating heart of Kasva's economy here, so he does have to be careful. The last armor upgrade is coming in shortly for Kasva, and just remember that Kasva has the mobility here. Like, I think Hera's use of towers is fantastic, and it does somewhat negate the mobility aspect of Kasva's army, as he can defend much better, but mobility is key, and I suspect as soon as all of these cavalry archers come back and Kasva gets the last armor upgrade, he should be able to deal with this army relatively easily. Of course, whilst the towers are fantastic, having a mobile long-range siege unit like the bombard cannon, as opposed to, you know, trebuchets where you have to constantly unpack them, really kind of makes it much easier to push back this kind of tower push. I wouldn't be surprised if, yes, Kasva lost a load of Hussar there, but that took a lot of Hera's army numbers out, so I wouldn't be surprised if that is replenished relatively soon. Every cavalry archer coming in. However, Hera's push is not running out of steam just yet. Kasva has managed to push Hera off this hill here with that castle, which was really nice for him. And this army is refusing to die. Hera is just managing to keep his army in. This trap looks like it is going to be sniped. And I feel like now this push is kind of slowly dying a little bit. Bombard cannons coming in to take out the remaining towers. Oh my goodness, this Hera has been going to work back here. And Kasva's trying to take down this tower with villagers. Kind of interesting to see. There are a couple of skirms here which are making it that much more difficult. It looks like Hera's main push over here has kind of stalled. That being said, the towers do remain, and Hera is spamming trash like there's no tomorrow. These players are still very close in terms of score. Do note that Hera has 2 relics and Kasva has none. Oh no, he did have 2. I was just thinking he had 2 earlier. He's got 2 relics. Where is the last relic then? If Kasva had 2... I have no idea. Maybe it's en route to Hera's base. Kasva continuing to try and push back Hera on this side. It feels very much like Hera is kind of wanted to play this game for the long run. Whilst I was kind of skeptical of the use of trash in the early Imperial, he's clearly kind of set himself up so that he doesn't have to worry about gold in the late game. However, he is about to lose all of this, and this tower is going to go down as quickly as it came up with the bombard cannon in the back here. However, how much gold does Kasva have? How many villagers does Kasva have in gold, guys? I'm not going to try and rip off Memb, but you can just imagine Memb saying exactly how many there is. Yeah, he doesn't have any vills on gold, and this is kind of a long-term problem here for Kasva. Turks rely on their gold comp unless they're just spamming Hussars into oblivion. It looks like Kasva is going to try and do some raiding. Currently kind of looking for where his opponent's economy is. We've got murder holes, we've got blast furnace coming in. Ah, I love that. Siege engineers coming in. It looks like we're getting all the kind of defensive upgrades for Kasva and the more aggressive ones for Hera at the moment. This bombard cannon is going to go down. Oh, thought it was going to get away at the end there. Not quite. And raiding has begun for Kasva. It's quite late. Like, you would have thought this would have happened earlier in the game. Hera, they're kind of neck and neck in terms of villages. There's not that much of a difference there. Kasva doesn't have double bit axe. Not double bit axe, bowsaw. Oh, that's crazy, man. That's going to be a massive difference in wood economy. That being said, like, res collected, Kasva is leaps and bounds ahead, actually. We're seeing Catapurito come in. Love to see it. That's going to give Hera some much needed speed to his siege pushes, as Kasva is just trying to raid as much as he can. Well, he keeps these cav archers alive. Is he going to garrison those? I love that. That's great. A great thing to do. He is getting architecture. I think that is a great upgrade as well. I don't feel like Kasva is in a good position now. I think Kasva may well have... This may well be due for Kasva. But he doesn't have any access to gold. Hera is able to just spam his superior track units. And unless Kasva gets some crazy raids in, I just can't see him being able to break this push over here. Hera has 3 relics as well. However, the raiding is having an effect. Like, there's almost a 20 vil difference between Hera and Kasva right now, and they are on similar army numbers. 27, almost 30 Turk cav archers is nothing to scoff at. And Kasva has 72 farmers, so he is in a position where he can just spam Hussars until the cows come home. That was a brilliant bombard cannon shot there. If I was Kasva, I would just use the Hussar, just jump on these traps, right? As, oh my god, like, Hera's economy has been absolutely nuked. These Hussars have been working away, and this might be what Kasva needs to bring him back into this. He's going to lose these trebuchets, I think, or at least 1 or 2. Is he only going to lose 2? 1. Oh, that's nuts. I do like that Hera is continuing to fortify this hill. It's such a key area of the map for him. But this is... Kasva needs to push very, very soon. He's got a couple of bombard cannons. He's got a decent amount of Hussar, and he can spam Hussar until the end of days, basically. Hera is going to be slowly repopulating his eco, but he just doesn't have the food numbers right now to spam trash. So if Kasva can take 1 or 2 big, good fights right now, Hera may well struggle to come back from this. As Kasva is continuing to raid whilst this massive fight goes on. Bombard cannons in the back. That will be really useful. And Kasva just needs to continue to spam the Hussar. As long as he gets a decent meat shield, he should be able to... No, don't take that fight. He should be able to kind of make something work here. It might even be worth deleting a stable. Just so that there's no choke point, so to speak. And Hera is losing so many. His eco is like hanging by a thread at this point. I think Hera is hoping to end the game right now, and if he can't end it now, then he is in a tricky position. Okay, it looks like Kasva is starting to engage. He's confident that he can take the fight, as Hera's army is kind of split up, and this is in combination with these Hessa have done so much damage back here. Roiding has literally may well have won Kasva this game. You heard me like literally 5 minutes ago. I was like, oh, I'm not sure about this. Kasva might not have this anymore, but I think Kasva has this in the bag. These trebuchets are going to go down. Kasva has lost a lot of vills, don't get me wrong. Like, he's losing vills right now, but he has 2k food in the bank, so he can reboom relatively easily. Although, one sec, does he only have... he's only got the one town center. He's having to rebuild a town center here and here. That's quite interesting. That kind of shows how much pressure he's been under. Hera is hoping to kind of reboom over here. I think that makes sense. This is actually quite a well-defended area with all these towers. But with 35 military units and only 76 builds, this is not looking good for our Japanese player. Do we have... Okay, and Kasva has done a great job. He's still got his bombard cannons somewhere on the map. And there's the GG. I think, what a game. Wow. Like, that was... that was so back and forth. That was so much fun. Like, can you imagine when what the map looked like in early Castle Age, when Kasva was under a lot of pressure, having, you know, in feudal, Hera really piled on the pressure against Kasva. He doubled that down in early Castle Age. Kasva was able to hold on, get his eco ahead, and then we had this crazy back and forth in Imp with trash plus towers against the kind of Turkish late game comp. That was so much. That was a pleasure, absolute pleasure to watch. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, guys. And you know, if you would like to tune in for more games, check me out on Twitch. I'm going to be casting a couple of pro sets there as well. Obviously, I will continue to upload stuff on YouTube, so if you could subscribe here, it's really nice to get some support going for the channel. Alright, that's all from me today, guys. See you next time. Bye.